Okay, give me a kissy. Give me a kissy. Come on. That's a good woman. All right. Ow, don't punch me. She's afraid of the cat's blood pressure. Are you okay, Snickles? All right. Good night. All right, anyway, I played her Into the Night, or it's Red, White, and Blue. Into the Night. The last part's dedicated to Willie Nelson and Betty White. That's when the rest say, tell old Red and Miss Old White is falling blue into the night. That one is to those two. Now it can also be, tell old Red and Miss Old White is falling blue into the night. There's a reason why I say Miss Old White. But tell old Red, good night. All right, we're back. Still watching Pelican Brief. Anyway, not that it's connected. Escape from Maine, new thing to think about, Belt 3. So we've already talked to Steve, and now we're gonna meet Nick. Nick has a baby on the way. Now Nick isn't pregnant, but his wife is, who's pretty obese, at this time at least. It's set in Havenwood at Belt 3. Some of the dialogue here, what are you? It's like a mixture of science and religion. This would be coming from Nick, number 2. Meaning I put 2 characters, 1 and 2, one's Jonah. Well, no, I'm sorry. These are 4 segments of the dialogue, just moments of it. What, like that crazy Scientology? I'd stay away. Then he says again, raised Baptist, I'm looking to get baptized. Nick and Jonah are talking on the belt. It's a conversation Nick and Jonah have. Kind of about religion. It really went on. I put it in the book. Kitty's taking a break. We'll get to that. Pickle. You woke up. You fell out of bed.
What? No.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What did I say?
It's dusty. You fell out of bed.
No, never. No messages.
No messages.
Sausage.
No alarms.
Yes,
No surprises.
yes,
We do have to get going if you're gonna go, or do you want to stay?
No, I already missed it at 10 o'clock. I already missed it. It's lunchtime.
All right.
You do your thing. What is it? No.
Let him play.
Wait.
He doesn't get to play that much.
No.
That cockroach was up.
What if it bites him in the lips and the hospital bill?
What are you gonna do with the cockroach?
I don't know. I'll eat it.
Oh, come on, sweetie. That's like a garment that you wear.
It's already dirty. Where'd he go? Oh my gosh, did it fall in my beer can?
Hopefully.
No, shut up. I seriously did it.
Well, if you take a bite of it, just go wash it down with some butt ice, I guess. Not that I recommend that. Yeah, he's in hyper mode.
Where'd he go? Like, seriously.
He's right there at your. Oh, you talking about his friend?
The roach.
You saved him with your shirt.
No, it's a tank top. That shirt.
Oh, he's free now.
You better not be in my beer. Or did you fall in the sink?
I don't know. It's almost as if he's hunting the refrigerator. He knows that something's in there. As in, maybe lunch meat. Kitty, we know your thoughts. We know what you're thinking every moment of the day.
Oh, he plopped down.
Yeah, because he's the well.
My friend. Sorry.
All right, Kitty, come on, let's move along now.
Let's go. Come on. No, dirty shoes, and dog poop on it.
I understand.
Okay.
Possibly maybe Brandon Fraser, Kitty?
Yeah, I do. Come on.
Would you like pizza and jelly?
No, I want.
Everybody wants a little pizza and
steak
jelly.
with A1 sauce and mashed potatoes and broccoli with butter and cheese on it.
Let him ride free. We're asking you to leave the kitchen, Kitty. We know you like being in here, the smells, the constant search for food. All right, we'll have to kind of push him a little bit.
Watch out for my finger.
Here we go. There's a cookie.
Watch out for your dirty shoe.
Hey, let me balance here, okay?
No, you balance.
Okay.
No.
All right, just forget it. Try not to make it look dangerous.
Well, your shoes are dirty. Okay.
All right. Okay. First shoes first. And these actually have the little laces on them. The new shoes. Okay, sweetie. Here we go.
Careful, do not ruin the back. Need half a size too small, but we'll figure it out.
Eventually.
Yeah.
And the second one?
Kitty cat's interested too.
Well, get in the shot, Kitty. Don't be shy.
Let's smell on these shoes. I just got done eating this kibble food. Be careful.
That's 2. Just in case. That's 1. And that's 2. Welcome to the Please Subscribe show. We're off to Walmart. All right, the new shoes kind of, they're kind of slippery, a little, or not slippery, but what are they? They kind of pinch. Here, let's try these. These are the older ones, and we'll use these because Linda stubbed her toe too. Here, put your foot in there. Come on. There we go. Here, try it again. Come on. There we go. Now, Linda was by the closet and stubbed her toe, and I had to put a little bit of Neosporin on her toe. This is a long Neosporin commercial. I didn't show it, though. But you can imagine it. Little corner of her toe's black. Or at least it's kind of like chipped. It's not necessarily black. But it's...
Oh my god, that's from Wet n Wild.
Okay, here we go.
Wet n Wild.
Foot, please.
Wet n Wild, 33 years ago.
Foot.
Big Mac.
There we go. Whoops.
Shots on my foot. And Puerto Rico.
Foot, please. Very good. Cats in the window, dogs on the porch. Might as well pick up big old torch. All right, let's go.
I thought I had his phone number, and I guess it got lost or deleted.
Yeah, for Christmas, this will be a good one for Linda right here. First aid. Yeah, it's like a new setup right here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, yeah. For like springtime.
Yeah, springtime setup for Walmart.
Yeah, you should have run in video for
Oh, sorry about that.
lady. Sorry about it. You're on the wrong side of the road, you know? I have that hero. Pay attention. What about your ex-wife like you?
Well, my ex-wife wouldn't have left me. It would have been my wife. Then she became my ex-wife.
Any veggies? Can you help me out real quick? Can you put that down?
It's 80. You get the 90. That's 93. 93, and it's 7. That's a good one. Take a little sip of that, and then you take a little sip of this, and then you take a little sip of that. Might add that in to red, white, and blue, maybe. Well, we'll see. It's 4 minutes is a good number.
I'll give you $1 if you get
Colorado.
it. I'll give you $1 if you get it.
Super enthused is all I have to say. Super enthused. Do you know what I mean? Not enthused, but super.
Of course I do. I know what it means.
You know what it means. It means you're enthusiastic. Look at that smile. How could you not? Her and Kitty, both. And you would want to subscribe. And look at my smile. Smile for the camera, sweetie. It's got to be a long take. Look in the camera, sweetie, and smile.
I am!
173,838 miles on the speedometer, 62 Fahrenheit. We're dealing with April 6, 2023. Welcome to the Please Subscribe Show. Linda's taking a break, resting that thumb. We've written a couple songs about her thumb, and we're working on stuff in rehearsals. Just kind of coming up with just blatant dialogue off the top of her head. I wrote a song called Red, White, and Blue Into the Night, which I changed because of the CC, the closed caption that YouTube provides. I listened to a version of it, and it was like a different song. So I went by their closed caption and really liked it. That's why it's got kind of a kooky... Well, it's like the verses are a little poetic and more so, rather than... I'll just give you an example. You know, it starts with Papa's on the porch, Mama's in the kitchen, making the bread. Well, they thought I said making braids. So I said, you know, Papa's in the porch, Mama's in the kitchen, making her braids, TV in space. They thought I said TV in space. I think originally I said making her bread, TV instead. And that's good too, but I like the other version they came up with, so I'm going with that one. Making her braids, TV in space, screen tone red, goes a little white, then a little blue, into the night. So like the television has some kind of problem. It's about the first part, the Papa's on the porch and Mama's in the kitchen, you know, doing her thing, watching TV. In this case, she'd had the TV in space, just like put up in a certain area of the kitchen or something. You know, back then we had those tube television. You could set them up in the kitchen and watch TV. Linda watches the TV on the phone while she cooks. That kind of thing. And then, you know, it turns a little red, and then a little white, getting a little blue into the night. And that's the first one. Taxman say, farm got ignorant, shine on the lines. You got a little time. Getting red, so turn it all away. Into the night, into the fray. Or maybe into the blue, into the fray. But you know, I like that. It's going to change the way sometimes I write music, because I'm going to listen to what I'm saying and the sound of it as opposed to what I think I write. So it's more based on sound. But you know, that happens in music, especially in lyrics. In songwriting, you get things, people will go, oh, I thought you were saying rice-a-roni. No, I was saying my baloney. Oh, you were saying my baloney? Yeah, I was saying my baloney. I thought you were saying rice-a-roni. Well, I like rice-a-roni. Rice-a-roni's good. My baloney works too. What's the real one though? Rice-a-shona. I don't even know. I got a friend named Scro. My friend Scro. I don't know. It's a mystery. There's two Jers mentioned in the book in a confusing way. One Jer was a good Jer, but before he was good, he had tattoos. This one tattoo of Christ, but it was kind of like an end times tattoo showing some kind of weird thing connected to him, and it was like this almost satanic kind of tattoo. And he later, well, he turned himself over to the Lord and surrendered and learned to conquer sin. And he wanted to baptize me in the Pentecostal, and he had that tattoo. He said one day that tattoo will just vanish. And I said, I agree. I hadn't conquered sin. I was still having trouble with it, but he was a pretty disciplined guy. The other Jer, which had blonde hair, kind of looked like Michael Pitt, had tats, had like a Joker tattoo. He would drink Monsters. I drank Monsters too. And we talked. He said I was a halfway decent guy, but he made me mad one time cutting up about some women and stuff and made a lot of jokes. He said the church had kicked him out, and I told him the church could never kick you out. It's in the book. It's in my book, yeah. I said a church can never kick you out because church is between two people. It can be between a lot of people, but it's between two believers, and that's what church establishes it at its most bare minimum. Two people honoring God is church, but it can also be an organized thing as well. And he thought, well, I can't go back. They kicked me out of church. It's like, they can't kick you out. I told him that on the belt. Got to remember to add that. I will be called the two Jers. That's what they went by. They both had the same name, Jer. Now, the good Jer, he lived in Dexter, in Stephen King's hometown, in a apartment, and it was an upstairs apartment, very cleanly. It smelled like inside, like he would make bacon in the morning. It reminded me of the smell of my grandparents' place or my parents' place and stuff. So it had the smell of, I hate to say it, but of a Christian or Christianity. He kept the bacon grease, you know, right over next to the dishwashing soap. Grandfather would do something similar. Very strange. But he was the one that told me that once he was lost and then he was found. Well, the other Jer was still living in the lost world. I think I've talked about this before, and he would drink the monsters. I'd drink the low-cal monsters. I was shifting between the two worlds. But I was not delving in cigarettes and anything like that, or beer or anything like that at this point in the story, which was when we were working the Belt 3 in the night shift. Later, I would meet Jer, I think, on the day shift when I was working the choppers. I had to switch over, and I got paid more because there was a thumb injury with one of the workers. That he had cut his thumb on a table saw at home. It's a really bad one. And that was something that I had to kind of really get used to, because the noise level with the choppers is like 4 or 5 times louder than it is with the sorting and packing on the belt, where you're basically shoveling through wood that's dropping off this metal chute, goes onto a conveyor belt. That's why they call it the belt. And then it moves along, and you find either it's a warped piece of wood, like a warped furniture piece, if they were doing furniture pieces, or if they were doing, let's say, like tongue depressors or corn dog sticks. They could be warped, or they could be rotten, and there's other things. They could be twisted, things like that. So we would find that wood, and then we would throw it basically in a wastebasket. And they would go through those wastebaskets and make sure we weren't throwing away good wood. I got one little story, though. There was a girl named Teresa. She was from Oklahoma. She was a first responder, but she was also working on the belt, too. She was a local first responder, I think in the fire department or something. No medical. I think it was paramedic. And night shift was very different than the day shift. I may have to try to get into that. But she'd be talking, and she would get the wood and throw it in the basket. She'd be looking like that. So she'd have the conversation, and she'd say fixated on the person while the other people are looking at trying to get the wood. Then they'd come back and go, no, we've got too many good pieces of wood. Teresa was funny. She was from Oklahoma. Don't know what she was doing up in Maine. That was her name. First name. But anyway, the whole environment on the belt and in the wood factory was funny. There was a lot of little stories. I won't get into all of them, though. Some of them I'll remember, and some of them I put in there. Some from memory and some from the book, maybe.